to keep us in chains. By a show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same 1%? Trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and for the millions watching at home, DCK Productions proudly brings to you the greatest podcast in the world! The greatest podcast in the world? Suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. I appreciate it if you both suck it. Suck it!
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
And welcome everybody to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome. Derek, how the fuck is everybody tonight? I am still sick and I think I'm dying, but oh well. I'll just keep on, sucking on my Vicks cough drops and live life as normal because I'm that fucking awesome. Thank God it is Friday, and we got a great show for you tonight to end the week. A great guest with me tonight, so we're going to have some fun with that. And then next week, Jesus, it's going to be freaking amazing. Oh, my banner's still going. Look at that. We got 3 great bands coming on to put on great live shows for you guys. We've got so much in the works. I am so excited to bring the next phase of this show together. Monday, we also have at noon the mental health hour with Kat. And then Wednesday, I'm debuting a new show, and I'll give you guys more about that later at the end of the show. But that's all later on, all that fun stuff. Today, I have an actress, comedian, and a camera host, an on-camera host, and a model. She's always felt deep down in her past life that she was an adventure explorer, and she has spent her life recreating that quest for adventure. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, Wendy Stuart Kaplan. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Guys, don't forget to remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and get all that other good stuff. So how's everything going for you?
Everything's really great for me. I'm not eating cough drops. You are.
Thank God for Vicks. I mean, yesterday morning, I don't know what happened. I woke up yesterday, my throat and my mouth was all swollen.
Oh no.
And it was hard to swallow. I didn't have a cough, or I didn't have any, post-nasal drip or anything else like that. So I'm like, okay, it's not a sinus infection. It's not allergies. I have no idea what the hell is going on. So if it doesn't clear it by tomorrow, I guess I'll go to urgent care or something.
Yeah. But you want to get to urgent care, right? But other than you not feeling so terrific, I am so happy to be here tonight.
Good. I'm glad.
Looking forward to coming on here.
Good. And I was really looking forward to having you come on too. I mean, for the last 2 weeks, I've had nothing but back to back great interviews. So I knew that I would continue on with that today. So I didn't have any doubt in that.
Well, yeah. We're not so far from each other. I'm in New York City. And right now we're next to each other on this screen. What could be better?
Exactly. You're just a stone throw away. I mean, 4 hours.
A stone throw away, as they say.
4 hours north of me. That's no big deal.
As the crow flies.
Exactly. So, I could, give the bio on who you are, but that's not my job. That's your job. So why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do and why you're here?
So I'm here because I think Derek is just fabulous, and I couldn't wait to be on his show. And I am the author of a book called She's the Last Model Standing, which is my memoir of coming to New York in the late 70s and every godforsaken thing that happened to me. But I tell people my story is everybody's story. It's anyone who, had a dream and came to a big city with not all that much money in their pocket. And
hold on, let me
just
stop you for a second. You just said that you went to New York City in the late 70s.
Yep, I did.
Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't
Yeah.
the late 90s? Because there's no way you're that old.
No, because I know, right? I'm embalmed. You didn't know I was embalmed. I'm embalmed.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Cool.
I'll
All
tell
right.
you all my beauty secrets later. But New York in the late 70s was like Studio 54, and it was such an amazing time to be here. But I was like just out of college. I didn't know anything, right? And I would go to Studio 54 and never get in. I love telling people the story. And one night I came dressed as a ballerina because I noticed, the people that were getting in were either celebrities or socialites, or they had a really cool outfit on. So in the dead of winter, I came in a ballerina outfit and I got in. And I wore ballerina outfits all the time after that. I never had a dance lesson in my life. I never took ballet. Why let that stop you? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Derek?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Why let that get in the way? And, at Studio 54, I think one of the coolest things, it's not so available now. You could just be, a kid from somewhere. I was born and raised in the Bronx, right? I was just from a normal family, but at Studio 54, everybody could be magic, right? Anything could happen because it really gave you the opportunity to, rub shoulders and meet some of the most incredible people. And I did. And the rest is history. And I decided to write my book, She's the Last Model Standing. It's, it's a story of inspiration. It talks about me coming to New York, Studio 54, becoming a model, getting into acting. Oh my gosh, the films I did, the low budget films, right? Because we all have to start somewhere. You're shaking your head. Did you do low budget films too?
I've done stuff similar, put it that way.
Okay, right. Well, we know what that's like. It's like 12-hour days. And do you know Trauma Productions at all? Do you know who they are?
I've heard of them, but I'm not too familiar with them.
They're very well known for like a film called Toxic Avenger, real low budget, very fun stuff, corny, romantic, slapsticky, science fiction. It's all rolled into one. But you'd work really long days for them. And I was, one of my first films that I did, it was called Squeeze Play, about a girls' softball team, right? And that's a really catchy title for a film. But they cast me in that film, and I didn't really know what the role was, and they told me I was going to be playing softball. Most of the film, we were doing wet t-shirt contests, okay? 12-hour days. We were fed bologna sandwiches, and to this day, when I hear the words, hose them down, I want to run for cover. But everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And then I did another film for them called Waitress, and they booked me as the star of the film, even though I only had 6 lines in it. But this is the kind of stuff that happens to you. And I tell these stories because I want people to know you don't shoot to the top right away. Those days of, being quote unquote discovered, it doesn't happen. You really have to work hard, pay your dues. So in the film Waitress, they billed me as the star of the movie, and they needed somebody to do like the press junket for them when the film was opening up. So I'm a good talker. I wasn't the star of the movie, and the director said to me, "Listen, we want you to do the press junket for it, and we're going to give you top billing, star of the movie, But I'm like a really honest girl, and I said, "But I wasn't the star of the movie. I had 6 lines in it." And he said to me, "Don't worry, we'll get you out of town." This is true. Before the movie opens. Can you imagine? And they did. So I had the best time, right? I would go to malls and I would sign autographs on my 8x10s. People would be lined up to meet me. And, the coolest thing, I love dealing with the public. Like the kids, the little girls, that are starstruck at that age. And they were just so excited to meet me. And I did a lot of radio and promotion. And then as soon as the film opened, that was true. They got me out of town.
That sounds similar to what happened in the mid 90s. I think it was mid to late 90s with the movie Scream. Wes Craven put Drew Barrymore at the front center of that, all the posters and everything like that, and they killed her in the first 10 minutes. So
Right.
everyone was kind of like, what the hell? So that sounds very similar to what Wes Craven did. Yeah.
It is. I think that goes on all the time. By the way, I love Wes Craven. I love horror films, right? Is there anything better than a horror film?
Yes.
What?
A good comedy film that makes me laugh so hard I piss myself.
Do you? So you love comedy. I love comedy too. I have to tell you, it's funny, as tragic as this pandemic is, for me, it has really launched me comically in so many ways, right? Because I did stand up on stage, I MC in clubs, I do all of that kind of stuff, right? But March 12th, they shut New York down. And all of a sudden, everything that I did, and all my friends that are in nightlife and performance, everything we did stopped. It came to a crash, right? And you heard Broadway went dark for the first time ever. All of us had everything end at that moment. And, you think about it, wrap your head around it. Everything that you knew, everything that you worked your whole life for, all of a sudden went away. And that was March 12th. March 13th, I'm standing in my kitchen making coffee, and my husband, who I make documentary films with, is my shooter. And I said to him, we got to do something. He said, well, what do you have in mind? I'm like, we have to come up with a show. We have to do something. I'm like, I can act, you can shoot. I've got a barn, you've got costumes. Let's put on a show, right? We're standing in the kitchen, and I said to him, you know what? I said, let's do a cooking show. And he's like, but Wendy, you don't cook. I'm like, exactly. Why let that stop you? And so I launched a show. It is a cooking show. It's called Pandemic Cooking with Wendy, but it's also a comedy show. We have 61 episodes up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which is Wendy Stuart TV. But what it's about, I do everything on that show. Yes, I do cook, but it really is about, I wear costumes, everything that I did in the theater, right? Costumes, makeup, funky backgrounds that I create, characters that I create. And I offer a recipe. We actually do cook on the show. So having to learn how to cook while I'm doing this, you can only imagine, Derek, what that was like. What is it? Never let them see you sweat.
Never let them see you sweat. Yep.
I never let them sweat. Listen, when I had to use a mixer, I didn't even have a regular mixer. So I pulled out of the drawer, those hand mixers? I'm sure your mother had, or your grandmother even, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, people really went to town on that. I had no idea. I was like so excited to even have a mixer, anything. So we have 61 episodes. And one of my favorite episodes is a character I created called Pandemic Pam. Pandemic Pam, she's not a flight attendant. She is a stewardess, right? She wears a costume that I got the day after Halloween at the party store on sale. And, you say to yourself, what are you going to do with this stuff after Halloween? Trust me, if I have 61 episodes, I have 61 costumes in my closet. So I'm dressed as this flight attendant, flying Pandemic Airlines, because what else would you fly, right? We never leave the ground. But there's turbulence all the time on there. And with Pandemic Pam, we can fly anywhere in the world, and I can make food from any country that you want. So it's really, really been a lot of fun for me. I offer a Sky Mall. That's right. You can, on my Pandemic Cooking show, you can come to my Sky Mall, and I have all kinds of crazy stuff that is sort of for sale on there. So yeah, it's been great. And as you said, it's comedy. You love comedy. I give comedy. Comedy makes people laugh, and this has been really hard times for a lot of people. Oh, and then the best part, right? I'm determined, right? You know that about me? Mm-hmm. So I start shooting this show. Now, I don't cook, right? 3 days into doing the show, I get COVID, and I lose my ability to smell or taste. So now, do the math. Can't cook, can't smell, can't taste. And she's doing a cooking show.
Wow. So you actually got COVID.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
My smell and taste are only back now 70%, and it's been four months. But
wow,
it goes to show you, like my daughter said, there I was I had only ran a low-grade fever, but I couldn't smell or taste anything. And I'm standing in front of a mirror, putting on one of my wigs and costumes, and my daughter's like, the whole family got it. They're like, she's like, Mom, we're all sick. And I looked at her, I said, but the show must go on. Isn't that the truth, right?
It is. I mean, it is. I mean, yesterday, like I said, I woke up and I could barely swallow or talk. And I'm like, I told my wife, I'm like, we're going to Walmart. I'm getting as much crap as I can shove down my throat as possible. And I still did my show last night and I'm still doing it right now. I don't care.
That's right.
Whatever it takes. And it's funny that you mentioned that you're a comedian because I'm actually a comedian as well. And I'm actually doing my first show since February tomorrow.
Where are you doing it virtually?
No. So
Really?
down here in
Wow,
Virginia. Yeah, so down here in Virginia, we're actually in phase 3 of our reopening.
Okay.
So basically everything's open up 100% with social distance rules. And you have to wear a mask if you're going inside. Okay. So there's a brewery nearby that I'm actually good friends with the owner. And he's like, hey, now that we can finally start doing shit again, why don't you come on in? So me and 2 other comedians I know, we're going to go do a show tomorrow at the brewery and just have a little bit of fun.
You know what, but how terrific is that? You know how happy people are going to be to see you live up there,
Yeah, it is going to be fun.
They're going to be like applauding and listening to every single word that you say. So, that's what comedy does. It keeps people happy.
Yeah, and I cannot wait to get up on stage. I don't care if I get booed, heckled, or laughed at. It's going to be fun regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Matter.
It doesn't matter because I'm there to entertain, and that's what all matters.
Fun is what it's all about, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm actually even gonna. I'm even gonna stream it live here.
Oh, you are? Okay, so I can see it. We can all see it.
Yep, I'm gonna stream it live on YouTube.
Okay, that's like really cool. So, tomorrow night I'm going to be on another show virtually. It's called 50 Shades of Gay, and the guy who runs it is Ike Avelli, the comedian. I'm sure you know him.
Yep.
He's really terrific. And the segment we're doing is called Christmas in July, right? And what could be better than Christmas in July? And I have to tell you, I have had to reinvent myself for all of these mediums now. Because remember, film, TV, or being in a theater is one medium. Being on Zoom or StreamYard is a whole other medium, learning how to connect, learning how to talk. And I have taken to it like a duck to water. I just love it. I meet people in my audiences on Zoom. Can you imagine?
Yeah. I mean, the Zoom stuff is a little weird. I mean, I've done a couple Zoom comedy shows and they're fun. It's a good way to keep your chops going. But at the same time, it's really weird. I mean, to just see all these, people that's staring at a camera on their phone or their computer. And, 9 times out of 10, when you're up on stage, the lights are so bright, you can't see the people in the crowd. So you don't really react. You don't really care about the crowd. But the Zoom show, they're right there in front of you.
They are there in front of you. But the thing I love the best, okay, I'm sure you've noticed this, people forget that they're on camera when they're on Zoom, right?
Oh, yeah.
And let me just tell you, this is what I've seen, right? They're looking into the camera, they're picking their teeth. They're picking their nose. They get up, they just completely walk away and go do something and then come back. They grab the cat, they start playing with the cat. They do hair twirling. These are all the things I've observed that people do on Zoom. It's crazy.
So the first one that we did, let me rephrase that. The first one that I did with this guy was a group of 7 or 8 of us comedians. And this couple, this husband and wife, were using their phone to do it. And halfway through the show, they went and did a drive-up pickup order for sushi. And they forgot to mute their phone. So the entire time that they're there picking up the sushi, you hear them talking. So at the one point, the moderator was like, you know what, this is pretty funny. So we're just gonna sit back. So he made everyone else shut up and just to listen to them talk. Therefore, when they finally realized that we could laugh at them. So they actually became the butt of the joke, but it was so funny that they were sitting there ordering sushi and not even caring about what was going on the phone.
Can I tell you, that's hilarious. That is like reality TV.
It really was.
Speaking of reality TV, just one thing. I need my cord. I'm losing my battery. Thank you. There you go. All right.
But yeah, so talk more about your book.
Yeah, so in my book, I talk a lot about, did you get to read my book, first of all? Hold on a second.
Oh, wait, that was me. That was me. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, I always think it's me. Hang on.
No, I had to cough. No, I have
Oh,
not had a
okay.
chance to read your book yet. No.
Okay, so hang on, I just want to plug in here. Okay, good. All right, unplugged. So my book is called She's the Last Model Standing. It is available on Amazon. One of the things I talk about in my book is the kind of modeling I do. I do all kinds of modeling, but what I'm best known for is fit modeling. Derek, do you know what a fit model is?
I'm pretty sure it's a fitness model, right?
There you go. That's what most people think, but it isn't. A
Okay.
fit model means I actually try clothes on for designers and make them fit regular people, like your wife.
Mm-hmm.
What size is your wife?
I have no clue. I'm a guy. I don't care.
I have no clue what size my wife is. I'm a size 8, and I work with designers when they take those clothes from the runway that are size 2 or size 4, and they're on 16-year-old girls. So the designers come to me, and I have to make that garment fit a regular person. And then that garment is mass produced, and you will find it in stores like JCPenney, Walmart, Eileen Fisher. You know, I run the gamut with all the different clients that I work for. And what I mean by making a garment fit, like for instance, I'm looking at you there. You know, you can move pretty good in that shirt you have on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like that? It doesn't feel like a straitjacket.
No.
Right. So I help a designer maybe carve out the armhole, make it low enough so that the person can move in it. Or, you know, depending on who the customer is, some ladies don't want to show cleavage. Some ladies do want to show cleavage. So I have to figure out who their customer base is and make the neckline accordingly. And it's been really interesting. I've been doing fit modeling for a really long time, and I still continue to do it because to me, when somebody puts on an outfit and they feel great about themselves, when they feel like somebody on a runway in Paris, it shows all over them. You know, I'm all about making people feel as good as they can, right? It's not all that different from comedy. Making clothing fit, you know, making a woman feel beautiful, that is everything.
Absolutely. I try hard every day to make my wife feel beautiful, unsuccessfully.
I was going to ask you, what do you do to make your wife feel beautiful?
Lots of things, but she just ignores me and tells me I'm wrong.
I love that.
It's the typical wife response. You don't know the fuck you're talking about. I know what I see in the mirror. I know what I see in front of me. I have to look at you every day. So what are you trying to say? You have to look at me? Okay, it's a no-win situation. So I just shut up and say, yes, dear. Whatever you say, dear. Oh, so you think I can't win. You're
totally not going to win with that.
Never. So back in the 70s, when you moved to New York, why did you move to New York over LA or anywhere else?
Well, I was born in the Bronx, and anyone that's born in the boroughs like Bronx or Brooklyn or Queens, man, that is part of your gene pool. You just can't get that out of you. But I wouldn't be going anywhere in the Bronx, but living in the city, right? We have so many opportunities here, and it's the pulse of Manhattan. Manhattan's amazing, right? It's all here. And in the 70s, I love to tell people this: there were no fences. All the borders were way open. People like Madonna, came here. She came here from Detroit, and I mean, look at what she did. We came up at the same time. I always tell the story about her appearing at Studio 54 one night. In the beginning of her career, I had no idea who she was, and I didn't like her early music at all. And she sang that song, Borderline. And I remember saying to my friends, so she's not going anywhere. Well, we know about that. But let me tell you, I'm a huge Madonna fan now. My turning point was Ray of Light. I totally loved every song on there. What about you? Do you love Madonna?
No, but now I'm even more hated. I hate her now even more because you said the song Borderline. Now I have it stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh my God, that's gonna be stuck there all night long. I'm gonna.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're gonna be trying to go to sleep. Borderline, da 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 da.
Yeah.
It's gonna be right?
God, that song just annoys the crap out of me. Now it's in there. It's in there for good. Thank you, Wendy.
Sorry.
Nope. You've done ruined everything.
There you go.
I'm losing brain cells as we speak.
Even as we speak. So the other thing I talk about in my book, I moved from acting into actually filmmaking, and that happened. Well, you know, because you probably audition for things too. When you go up for an audition and you don't get the job, and you know you were the best person. Has that happened to you?
Yep, it happened to me recently.
It happened recently, right? And you know, I've learned. Okay, now I just forgive me for saying this. I suck it up, right? Because you never know what the story is behind it. You never know if maybe you reminded them of somebody that they used to go out with and hated. It was a bad breakup, or maybe they just don't get you. Okay, so we all know it's not personal. But I had gone up for a show on Animal Planet, and it was called Ms. Adventure, and they wanted somebody that would, you know, go to really remote places in the world and have experiences there. A travel show, but you know, also lifestyle, entertaining, and comedic, right? All the funny things that happen to you, like when you're in the middle of the Amazon. So at that point, I had taken care of elephants at an elephant orphanage in Thailand. I had my very own elephant. Her name was Pisame. What do you think of that for an elephant's name?
That sounds pretty perfect.
It was pretty perfect, right?
Yeah.
And oh my God, that thing ate. Let me tell you, when they told me she ate pineapple and they gave me a cart filled with pineapple, I asked them for a machete or a knife or something to chop up the pineapple, and they said no, she eats it whole. I'm like, what the hell do you mean she eats it whole? True story. A whole entire pineapple I put in front of that elephant. They eat it whole, like with the quills and everything on it. It's totally wild. But you know what? If you haven't lived till you've taken care of an elephant, then you'd be responsible for an elephant, their bathing, their care, their feeding. So I've done that. Okay. I've been with the Karen tribe in Vietnam. Those are the people in the northern part of the country that have the gold rings around their neck. You've seen them that are all stretched out.
Yeah.
You know, it's an optical illusion. I had those rings on. They let me wear those rings. They look like they call them the giraffe people as well. But those rings are very, very heavy. Their necks are not really longer than yours or mine, but their bone structure just really lends itself. Very short chins. So when they put those rings on, it looks even longer.
Oh,
so
wow.
I tried that. Oh, it's so totally cool. And the nicest people you could ever meet. And I had done all this really great stuff. So I applied for this show and I had the right criteria. I was funny. I had been in remote parts of the world. And I was sure it was a shoo-in. Well, guess what, Derek? I didn't even get a call back. And when I found out who the person, don't you always like try and find out who got the show? Do you ever do that? You want to, you know, who beat you out? My God, it was once again, and this is a running theme in my book, a girl 20 years younger and a size 2. That's been the running theme of my life. You know, somebody just totally different from me. So that I used as a launching pad. So you take your frustration and instead of getting all peed off about it, you say to yourself, okay, you know what? I can do this. So my husband and I started shooting our own stuff. And originally they were, you know, very short. They were up on YouTube. And I started then doing it for small companies, telling little stories like in South America, going to Central America, the Galapagos. I did one of the last interviews with a tortoise called a Lonesome George. He was like so old, he over 100 years old. And when I tell you I did the last interview, okay, we know Lonesome George wasn't talking. I did all the talking because we all know tortoises can't talk. But I did so much great stuff like that. And I was able to donate all of those performances to these non-for-profits, you know, to help them sell what their brand is about, which is great. And then we branched into doing larger documentaries. So the first one we did was called Fragile Beauty, which took us to the southern Omo Valley in Ethiopia. Do you know anything about the tribal people in Ethiopia?
Not really.
Okay, so one thing I can tell you, they still look the way they have for hundreds of years, complete body painting, beautiful body painting. The Mercy people are the ones with the clay plates in their lips that droop all the way down. They don't have cash the way we know it. They get it every now and then, but their barter system is goats and cows and sheep. That's how they pay for things. It is really different. And they dress themselves amazingly. You know, if they kill an animal, they eat the animal and they turn the skin into something that they would wear. So it is quite remarkable. So I had this brilliant idea that I would go do a movie about them, a short that I would enter into film festivals. So how do you do this? Like, how do you go say to yourself, I'm going to go hang out with these tribes, right? I found somebody that knew somebody. Everything I do, by the way, is like this. I know the guy that knows the guy that knows the other guy and makes it happen. And
Yeah.
that is probably the best way to do anything, not be official. And someone had spoken to the chiefs in the 3 different villages we were going to go to. And we offered $100 to the chief for the village. And each person that we spent camera time with, $10 to $20. This was a lot of money for them. And also my thing is, anywhere I go in the world, any person who gives us permission to shoot their image, we make sure they get paid. We run it just like a modeling shoot, because that's the fair way to do it. No one should take anyone's picture without compensating them. So we go down there, and I didn't know what to expect, especially with the people with the clay plates in their mouth. I was told that they got drunk, they were nasty, they were not open to outside people coming in. There's a very famous photographer I know who said he shot like 4 pictures and then they started throwing stones at him. And our guide who took us there and who spoke their language said, they may not let you shoot any pictures. I said to them, look, I'm cool. Whatever happens, happens, right? So we get there and nobody was smiling. And, we always work with small cameras in those areas. You don't want to come in with guns blazing, right? First thing I did, sat down on the ground with a couple of the local women with their kids. I knew the kids would be interested. Kids started playing with me, started playing with my hair, touching me. Then some of the mothers started coming over. And whatever it is about me, here we go, Derek, we're back to comedy again. They were looking at me and talking about me in their local language and laughing. And then I started laughing. And then we were all laughing. Heaven only knows what they were saying about me. But guess what? It didn't matter, because you know what? Your eyes lock, you're laughing. And from that moment on, it really is magic. No problem taking pictures. They were showing us the clay plates. They kept flipping them in and out of their mouths, and then the women wanted me to try putting them in my mouth. Like, I have a tiny mouth and I don't have a huge piercing, so that wasn't going to happen. They thought that was very funny. Every time I would put the plate to my lips, that was the funniest thing. So we made this amazing film about their way of life. However, my bubble got burst because I was going to talk about their fashion and their body painting and everything. We go to another village and my guide says to me, oh my gosh, Wendy, do you have malaria pills? I go, yeah, I'm taking malaria pills, because you have to. He says, there's a little girl here and she's dying. Her father said they need malaria pills. I'm like, what? He said, well, you need yours for you. He said, she's very sick. I said, is there a clinic? He said, yeah, there's a clinic 2 miles from here, but the father can't pay for anything because they won't take a cow at the clinic. Can you imagine that a child will die because a parent can't pay for it with a cow? Wow. But this is the culture. So I coerce our guide into talking to the father. We had a Jeep, saying that we wanted to give him a gift. And the gift was going to be, we wanted to buy medicine for his daughter. As outsiders, we loved their village and we were so appreciative of being there. Could we go buy the medicine, and could the daughter and the dad come with us? So this sick little girl and her father got in the Jeep with us. You have to understand how hard this was for them. I mean, who the heck were we, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now we're going for a ride. And we get to the malaria clinic and the nurse comes out and sees that he's a tribal person. And I saw she was taken back. And I looked at her and I said, I'm paying for the medicine. And there were 2 other people sitting there. And I said, I'll pay for their medicine too. How much did I give her? $20. 10 for the kid and 5 each for the other people. And we saved a life that day. So that's just one of the stories that ends up on my film. What do you learn from this, right? What you sometimes think you're going to do may not be the thing that you end up doing. You got to listen to the universe, all right? And just go with the flow. And you know what? Every film I've made has had that knowledge behind it. I work unscripted on the documentaries. We went to Cameroon to shoot a film about gorilla and chimpanzee rescue from poachers. People say to me, why do they need to be rescued? Well, because they're being killed for bushmeat. What's bushmeat? Bushmeat is a delicacy. It's people in wealthy countries in Asia. And I was told also there are places in New York, I can't verify that, but I was told that they pay top dollar for gorilla meat or chimpanzee meat. So, you know what? The local hunter who doesn't have any money figures, okay, this is a good way to cash in, right? How do you solve this problem? Well, first you got to educate their children. Second of all, you got to give them some kind of employment or show them how to grow another kind of food so they're not killing gorillas and chimpanzees for money. I met two incredible women here in New York that run these rescue centers there, and that's exactly what they do. They employ the locals. They run educational programs. And right now at Ape Action Africa, they have over 350 primates. We're talking gorillas, chimpanzees, monkeys. And in Sanagiyang Rescue Center, they've got 64 chimpanzees. These rescue centers operate by people donating to them, all right, by outsiders coming there, seeing what the situation is, and carrying back what is really going on in the world. I made a film about it with my husband. It's called Whispers and Witnesses, Primate Rescue in Cameroon. And it won the best documentary at the Chelsea Film Festival. And I'm really, you know what, I'm really proud of the message that we got across. So yeah, all of this kind of stuff. I mean, my gosh, my range of stuff. It's like, I got a lot of hats on here, Derek. Can you see them?
Yeah, you can throw a couple over my way. I'm fine with that.
Here you go. There's a virtual toss. Oh, that one looks really good on you.
Yeah, I got a whole stack of them right here. I can just kind of push them out.
There you go.
Well, damn. You know, that story of the father and son, father and daughter, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, to think that it was as little as $10.
Right.
You know,
and it's crazy. And my guide had said to me, I'm like, how many kids in this area have malaria? And he says to me, oh, many. Well, here's the deal, right? We so many of us, right? We have big hearts. I know people listening out there, you donate, right? You donate to organizations that are trying to help this. So there are organizations that pay for mosquito nets. Seems like a simple solution. So the government will get mosquito nets down to these villages. But half the time the packages are dropped off in the plastic bags that they came with. Nobody really talks to anybody exactly how to use this stuff. And I talked about, the adornment and the fashion. They were wearing mosquito nets. They weren't over the bed. They were wearing them or used for fishing. So again, the programs really need to be set up, through government, through private organizations. And there's a lot of NGOs that are doing incredible work, but that's the only way that we're going to be able to help people all over the world. Listen, right now, have you been to Africa?
I have not, no.
Okay, so a lot of people, I know there's got to be people listening that have been on safari, right? And chances are if they've been to safari, they've flown into Nairobi and gone on safari in the Masai Mara to see the big five, right? That's what is that? The lions, the elephants, hippos. I forgot the other two, and I can't ask you because you haven't been on safari.
Well, I'm assuming giraffe.
There you go, giraffe. Thank you for filling in that blank for me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm living in New York these too many months now. But they go there to do that, right? And the area is called the Masai Mara. And the people that live there are the Maasai people. They're very interesting in that a lot of their children now are being college educated. They've really got it. They've got it down. They've kept their tradition. They send their kids off to college, but then the kids come back and find some way to work the skills within their own villages, whether it's artisans or setting up microfinance programs, right? Because you know what, Derek, no matter where you go in the world now, people have these smartphones. They skipped the whole industrial revolution and they have a smartphone, and creating microfinance opportunities in these tribal areas, it's been tremendous success. But there's someone I've been in touch with who's Maasai, who ran tourist trips down there, right? Because the Maasai are running a lot of the lodges. They're really great examples of holding on to their culture and yet moving into the modern world. But right now, because of COVID, oh my God, hit so brutally down there. Okay, not only because there's a lot less money, they don't have the tourists. The tourists aren't coming for obvious reasons. And these families all live very closely together. All right. Look, I had COVID. My husband and my daughter got it, right? And we're just 3 people. Imagine when you live with grandma, grandpa, auntie, 4 kids, and everything. So it's a really crazy situation all over the world. And I can't wait to be able to start doing the films in remote areas again. I love telling the stories of a lot of these people. It's great. So we do have a current project we're working on. It's called Working Dogs: A Love Story. And I must have been a gypsy fortune teller a year ago when I came up with that idea, knowing that I wasn't going to be going to Africa. We decided to do a film on therapy and service dogs. Now, I'm sure you're traveling out of the airport, you see the bomb sniffing dogs there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're usually around the luggage and everything. And you walk out in the streets and you see seeing eye dogs for people. You see service dogs. Maybe the person has some kind of injury and the service dog helps them just get along. We thought it would be a great idea to make a movie about that. And Working Dogs: A Love Story is about all these amazing dogs that work. Listen, 9/11, right? We had all these hero dogs. And they would get everyone thought, oh, isn't that great? But they'd get one line in the newspaper or a mention on the news. In our film, what we do is we introduce the dog, we introduce the person that is either working with the dog or if the dog is helping the person. I've got an incredible journalist in my film that is, he's got epilepsy, and the dog knows when he's going to have a seizure. All right, Dharma can tell Jonathan when he's going to have a seizure. She can smell a chemical in his brain. I mean, you know about this, right? Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they do a lot more than that. I mean, they can, it's like they can also unsense a bunch of different things. Dogs are just amazing.
Dogs are amazing. And we found an article today, and I didn't read it yet, or I would share it with you. They are now saying, and my husband's here. Where did you see that article? Do you remember? He read it on the phone. I don't know who it was, but that they can now sense COVID. They can smell it.
I haven't heard that one. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. So when we get done, just definitely Google that because that's pretty wild that can happen. But I've got people in my film that have PTSD, and the dog can sense when their heavy anxiety, immobilizing anxiety, is coming on, and the dog will be there as a source of comfort. We worked with the Seeing Eye Foundation. The coolest thing, how they get seeing eye dogs? They take a golden retriever puppy or a lab or a shepherd that has really comes from a line of dogs that are, for lack of a better word, they just have the right stuff to be service dogs. Let's just say the temperament.
Yeah.
And they take that puppy at 8 weeks of age and they put it with a regular loving family. So we were so fortunate. We were able to trace from the 8-week-old puppy all the way up to a person that was not sighted getting a dog. So the coolest thing we did, we got to go to a puppy class, and there were like 10 puppies in that class. There were labs, golden retrievers, German shepherds, and they did all kinds of stuff with them. They did an exercise where they threw a ball. Now, if you're going to be, helping a person that's disabled, the dog can't be running after the ball. If you're leading a person that's blind, the dog can't be running after the ball, right? They can't have that distraction. So they actually do exercises where they line the dogs up with the people that are handling them, one row on each side, and then they roll that ball down the middle. And that was so unbelievable to watch because, they're dogs, right? And you could see them saying to themselves, oh my God, I know I'll be in big trouble if I go after that ball. There was one German shepherd. He was like, he just couldn't hold himself back. And I said, well, what kind of dog will he end up being? Like, how can he help someone? And then I was told he will probably go work with the, canine police officers, right? Because they take those dogs out with them. Those dogs become their partner. We have two wonderful officers in our film that are part of the K9 unit. And one of the officers had a bloodhound named Dixon, who I just love. But Dixon actually was credited in finding someone who had overdosed and wandered off into the woods.
Oh, wow.
Can find someone with Alzheimer's, wanders away. So bloodhounds are used in that way. So yeah, we want to pay homage, as we say, to our canine friends in the world. Do you have a dog?
I have 2 dogs.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have a boxer lab mix and a Ridgeback.
You have a Ridgeback? I love them.
Yeah, I have a Ridgeback as well. And we also have 2 cats.
And how does everybody get along?
Fantastically.
Isn't that great?
They're just one big happy family.
You do?
Yeah.
So, all right, you want to hear one big happy family? I live in New York City, right, in an apartment. 2 English Angora rabbits, a cockatoo, and a long-haired chihuahua. And nobody is kept in a cage. How do you like that?
That's nice. The cockatoo, especially, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, it's really impressive. You should see the decorating that she's done in my apartment. You would be so impressed, Derek, at the moldings, the carvings that she has created in the furniture and in the moldings. I have a great super who every 4 years comes up and has to fix everything. The bummer is, though, occasionally either the rabbits or her will get a wire. Mm-hmm. So you go to put your stereo on or something and it's dead. So that's the downside, but I love having them.
Yeah, I have that problem with my cats. So my basement is my studio and I have it all decked out, and the cats are not allowed in here. Cause I'll walk in. I mean, my youngest cat, who's my cat, she's destroyed 3 pairs of headphones, countless wires. So it's when I come in here, I open the door really quickly and I turn around, make sure there's nobody behind me. I slam the door and I don't let them in. I was
going to say you have to do it really quick because they're slick. They're really quick.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Are really quick. Especially cats. Cats will just slither in and you won't even see them. Mm-hmm. They'll slither right past you.
Yeah, both of ours are enjoy getting outside too, the same way. So when we let the dogs out, we just open the door and let the dogs run and bring them back in. But the cats will see that door's open and just gone.
And then they're gone. But they always come home, right? Everybody comes home.
The youngest cat does. The other one, my wife's cat, just kind of hides and chills until she's ready to come back.
Really? But do you ever get worried?
All the time. She's run out of the house so many times. My wife is the only one that could ever get her back in. From everybody else, she just runs.
But at least she'll come back in for your wife.
Yeah. So we live in a 3-story townhouse, and on the bottom floor, we have a jacuzzi, and it's one of those types of townhouses where you have 2 decks. So the upper deck is just planks of wood. So when it rains, it comes through the planks. So we built a little roof over the jacuzzi in between the planks at the upper deck versus, right. Yeah. So there's a little space that she'll just crawl in there and just kind of stay. And nobody,
my God, that's heaven. Right.
Nobody can get in there except for her. So she'll just stay right there in this little roof thing. And we can't get her out. My wife will have to bring out treats and shake the bag and all this other crap.
Yeah. Shaking the bag does it, right?
Not all the time. She's trying though, but she's been able to get her back.
Well, at least somebody can, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
Have you ever had a parrot? I have a parrot. Have you?
Oh God, no.
Oh, Derek's not a bird person.
No.
You're not a bird person. I can tell.
Oh my God,
Did you have a bad experience?
No, there's annoying as hell. When I go to PetSmart, I purposely avoid that cage.
It really, really is. I know. I live with that screaming all the time. I think I lost hearing in one ear from it. She screams. She has that it's like a tirade, and it's ear piercing. And you hear your eardrum go. That's ear damage is happening when that happens.
I cannot imagine it.
Do you like outside birds?
I love looking at them. Yes.
Oh, you're totally not a bird person.
No, not really. I mean, I'm originally from Ohio. And then I moved to Florida with my parents when I was 7 or 8. And the birds in Florida are like the birds from Hitchcock. And they just completely, turned me off from birds forever.
I know the kind of bird. I lived in Florida for a bit. I think that ones you're talking, they're like a starling or a blackbird that cluster in the trees.
It's all of them. I mean, it's every bird there. I mean, you've got these giant whooping cranes that will walk down the middle of the road and just don't care about cars. You've got crows and pigeons and then seagulls everywhere. The seagulls just really don't give a shit. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I remember one time.
My favorites.
I killed one.
Oh, no.
So I'm dead serious. So I can take this as a what's the thing? As a badge of honor or just an extremely horrible accident. So I'm driving my SUV down this road, right? And there's this big old herd of them. I mean, big old flock of them. There's like maybe 10 or 15 of them. And they were all just chilling right in the middle of the road. It was a dead time of the day, so they weren't too worried about it. They saw me coming and they started flying. Well, this one, I don't know if it was suicidal. I don't know if it was depressed that day or whatever, but it flew directly into my windshield.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a big bird.
Hit my windshield. Luckily, it didn't crack my windshield. It hit, and then it just kind of, you saw it tumble behind me, and just feathers went everywhere.
Wow.
So, yeah, needless to say, I don't like birds.
That's a really bad bird story. That's your dead bird story. The dead crane story.
Yeah. Because, I mean, birds in Florida just don't care, and it's a sad thing. They're scary.
They're scary to you.
Oh, yeah, they'll come out of nowhere and just steal your food and shit.
Oh, I love that. Well, clearly, I am a bird person, and you are, but you are an animal person, right? I'm sure
I am an animal person. Yes.
That are listening today are animal people. I've noticed, like, since this whole pandemic, when I go out in New York City, there's so many people with puppies now. They got puppies really in the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask them why, they're like, I just needed it for my head, or I'm working from home and it's just a great time to get a puppy. And the coolest thing, Derek, is a lot of the puppies are rescues. So they're doing good there. They're going to shelters, they're getting rescue animals, and giving them a home, giving them a future, right?
Yep. I mean, I'm all about animals for mental health, because I mean, I'm bipolar and I have horrible mental health issues. I mean, there's some days where I can't even get out of bed. The only motivation I have to get out of bed some days is just to do this show. Because some days it's the only thing that gives.
That's motivation enough, though. Look what you do for people by doing this show.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons why I started this show, was because of that. I wanted this, to show other people that people living with this, debilitating disorder that I have can still function and still talk and still make people laugh and have normal conversations with celebrities and all this other shit. And then once I get celebrities to talk about it, then it really kind of hits home for them, because now they're like, oh my God, this person is a normal person. A lot of people don't realize that. They'll just see and that's why I do the show the way I do it, is because they'll see this on-air persona, this what I like to call this kayfabe figure, whatever that character they've developed in their own head, that's who they are and what everyone in the world believes. Well, I'm sorry, as soon as you come onto my show, I got the hammer and the nail, and I'm gonna freaking break that. I'm breaking down the wall. You're gonna be real with me, or we're gonna have a horrible conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally real, right?
Absolutely. I haven't had to say much, which, by the way, is very appreciative. Being that it's fine, because my throat is killing me, and I just had to pop another cough drop. This one's a numbing cough drop. So I'm letting you do all the talking, and it's fantastic.
Okay, I'll do all the talking, but I'm also good at giving medical advice too, right? I love giving advice. So I know you've got your cough drops, all right? As soon as, when we're done, I want you to go make sure you can go make hot tea, all right? And you need to take a tablespoon of honey and let it coat your throat.
I think I will.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
trust me, it works. It totally works. And you
Yep.
should take your temperature too. Do you have a thermometer in the house there, Derek? I don't know if you do or you don't.
Yes, I do. Of course.
Okay, you have a thermometer there because your wife put it there. That's why you have a thermometer. Say it.
Yes, mother. Of course. Yes, mother. Of course I do.
Your wife put that thermometer there.
She
didn't
actually
buy it,
she did.
She did.
Oh, no, of course she did.
Of course she did. You see, I knew that. You know.
I won't even remember to wake up out of bed if I wasn't for my wife.
Really? Wow. And your animals.
No, she usually takes care of the animals in the morning.
Well, so what, Terry? I'm getting a picture of you here. What do you do in the morning?
Sleep.
You are lazy. You're letting her do all the work.
Well, no, see, I usually get up between between 10 and noon every day. But then from like noon until 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm in this this office, just working,
Yes.
Talking to people, building business proposals for sponsorships, doing graphics. I mean, for every episode, I do 4 different graphics.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So I'll release one in the morning, or the day before, and then I do another one, right before the show. And then I do one after the show to say that the episode's out. And then I do a completely different one the day after, again, to get attention. So I'm constantly making graphics. I'm constantly doing this. I'm constantly doing that. Uploading this to, YouTube, and then if I'm not seeing enough, hits on it, I'll go back in and I'll re-hit a bunch of tags, re-edit it, add this or add that to get extra boosts and stuff like that. It's a constant battle.
Can I tell you something? You have got this down to a science, and you are going to be super successful because of it. Really.
Yeah,
you have the whole thing. You analyze the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I overanalyze it, to be totally honest with you. I spend about 15 hours a day doing this. So
I was going to say 12 hours, but yeah, I can see 15 a day.
Yeah, 12 to 15 hours a day minimum. And like I said, I analyze every little thing. Like I said, I'm constantly, redoing tags on YouTube. I'm constantly uploading and re-uploading episodes, making sure that my analytics on my actual podcast, which is the bread and butter of it all, is going right, and sharing that, and then sharing this, and then doing it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but you're doing it. So would you say like you're a technological guy? I don't know your background. Do you have a background in technology?
I'm actually, for the last 21 years, I've spent in retail. Okay. So I was a retail guy originally. However, I've also been in the entertainment business for that long as well. So I started out when I was about 18 years old. And I was a musician, guitarist, singer, in the Orlando area for a while, until my daughter was born, when I was 20. So then I gave it up at that time to make sure I could take care of my daughter, and then devoted my life to just taking care of her. And then a few years passed by, and excuse me. And then I decided to pick up another dream of mine, which was being a professional wrestler. So
you're kidding. Tell me about that.
Dead serious. So I actually studied for about 6 months. I went to school for 6 months for it, and I spent about 13 years wrestling down in the Southeast, all over the place.
So is that like the what do they call that? The
WWE. WWE, yes.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of small independent companies that operate throughout the United States. There's a couple hundred of them. So I would go all over the Southeast and just wrestle for different companies, different territories. And, I did that for about 13 years until I broke my neck.
You broke your neck, my God.
I did. But the sad thing is, it was actually in a car accident, not even wrestling.
Don't tell people that. We just want people to think that you were like this kick butt wrestler and you broke the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk.
Well, to be totally honest with you, more than likely I did do some damage inside of the
right?
It was teetering, and then the car accident just sent it over the edge. But the entire time I was wrestling, I always did the websites. I always did the designs. I always helped with, the video production on the back end. So I basically taught myself how to do it all. And then,
Wow.
Yeah, so I just basically learned it on my own, watching YouTube videos and everything else like that. And then when I broke my neck, I decided to start, getting into comedy, and doing other things like that, a little bit less, active, but still way to use my skills of being on stage and learning how to, controlling a crowd and so on and so forth. So at that point, I decided to start doing that. And then when I started getting into podcasting, I had to be good about it, because it's all about, engaging this and making sure that this title looks something they would want to listen to, and putting a description in there that they want to listen to, or is easier to find, and all this other stuff. So it's like it's either you do or you don't, and if you don't, you fail. And I'm not
It's
the
highly
person to fail.
competitive, right? It's highly competitive. And would you say, like, during this pandemic, there's more and more podcasting, of course, going on.
Oh, of course,
right?
of course.
It's crazy. Everyone's broadcasting from their home.
Yeah, I do. But at the same time, I've spent a shit ton of money to get it right, when a lot of people just, I'm just going to record a podcast from my phone and then put it out.
Right. No, I can see you, your show the look of it. And I think that's important. The look of it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I took a lot of time to do that. Yeah.
But it looks it.
I appreciate that. Yeah. It took a lot of time to get this right. I run off of 2 computers, one over here, one right here. I analyze everything over here. I watch my comments. I watch the stream go up and down. I do, come over here. I have my phone in front of me, and I do all these different things to make sure that I'm always being captivating.
Right.
It's a tough world. The thing about it is, the more people come out that do podcasts and do it badly, the more listeners I get, because then because then they realize, oh, I guess Derek really is the best of the best. I'm like, yeah, I am. So go listen to him for a couple of times, and then come on back and realize where the good stuff is.
Wow. Oh my God, I'm running out of battery here, Derek.
Well, it's been an hour and 5 minutes.
You're kidding. I told you I could talk.
That's perfectly fine.
I've had a really great time talking with you. So what are some of your, we've got another outlet. I'm versatile. We have another outlet. Okay,
bring it on.
See. Did that work? Yeah, it says it's charging, although it says it's 4%. So what kinds of things have you been doing, like, during this, we call it a pause, right? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy? I know you're 15 hours a day in your studio there, but do you do other things that interest you?
Right now, it's really just about building a name for myself.
I love it.
Yeah, it's, since I lost my job, and, now that this has become, my whole, everything is my bread and butter. It's either this or nothing at this point.
Of course.
And I'm determined to make this work. So it's all about building my brand and building my name. And that's pretty much all it is. So I do a lot of watching of other people and learn what not to do, because, like, I'll watch somebody else and go, okay, so this guy's got 1 million freaking subscribers, yet I'm bored out of my fucking mind. So what?
Yes,
Okay.
But how does that work? That's what I don't understand. I watch tons of podcasts now because of the time we're in, right? It's everywhere. How does that work where someone gets that many subscribers?
To be totally honest, if you look at, like, if you go back to, like, some of those guys who have just been around for 10, 15 years before podcasting was podcasting, and, were some of the originals on YouTube, and they just built up so much of a following that they don't really care, and people just follow them and watch them just to watch them. So now it's like, okay, so what do I got? But when I turn it on and go to watch it, it's boring out of my mind. So, like, okay, I know I'm better than this guy, so why am I not getting nearly as many as he is? And I just take notes. Okay, so he's doing this, all right, so I'm not doing this. All right, so he's going to do this, so I'm not going to do this. And I just spend a lot of time watching and studying and, doing certain things that other people aren't doing. So I actually spend a lot of time researching what people are doing, so I don't do it too.
That, you know what? You are, first of all, a quick study. And in a way, you said you had a background in retail. I can see you using all those skills now. You're applying it to how you're approaching your podcast business. It's great.
Yeah, I love doing what I'm doing. It's It comes down to, entertaining. I love to entertain. I mean, there was nothing better in this world than being up on stage, whether it was with a guitar in my hand, a microphone in my hand, or, pretending to be somebody I wasn't, playing a character in a wrestling ring. There's nothing better in this world than getting the reaction out of people that you intended to get. So if I want you to boo me, you're going to boo me. If I want you to laugh at me, you're going to laugh at me. If I want you to be shocked at the things I'm going to say, you'll be shocked by the things I'm going to say. And, having that type of control is awesome, because that means that what you're doing is the right thing.
Right. Because the people let you know. Isn't that the truth?
It is. Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the biggest things about whether it be comedy, wrestling, music, Broadway, or whatever the case is, that a lot of people don't have that crowd control, ethic, I guess you could say. They don't know how to keep that crowd under control. They could be the best in the world, but if you can't keep that crowd under your control and learn how to manage what they're doing and saying and thinking and feeling, then what you're doing doesn't matter. You can also be the worst in the world, but have the greatest crowd control ever and be fantastic in their eyes. It's all about what you do in order to captivate them.
But that's a real skill. It's a psychological skill.
It is.
And you have it. So there you go.
I like to think I have it.
You have it.
I hope so.
Seriously, you know how to read your audience. And you know what? It is about reading your audience at the end of the day. But you can also, like, as a comedian, right? And I'm sure you've experienced this, go out there and take a look at that audience and no matter what you say or do, it's not going to fly. Yeah,
absolutely. And I've also learned, like, as far as like interviewing goes and just having a conversation with you, is that no matter what questions I ask, you have a story to tell and you're going to tell that story. So regardless of the questions I ask, you're still going to morph that question into the answer that you want to give. So sometimes, like, I'm sitting there going, okay, so you've been around the business since the 70s. I'm only 39, so I was born in 81. So you've been doing this longer than I've been alive. So why the hell am I asking you questions? I'm just going to let you tell your story, and then I'll swerve it every once in a while to get a little bit more definition. But other than that, I'm going to let you do the talking. And by letting you do the talking, I'm getting everything I want, and I'm hearing everything that they want to hear. But then at the same time, I'm controlling the conversation because of that. I'm not sitting there trying to control the conversation by saying, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? No, I can control the conversation by not doing anything because I'm letting you have the forum to do so.
Well, and you're smart enough, as a host, you're giving it up to your guests, but we've all dealt in situations where it's not that way. And guess what? For me, with the kind of personality I have, people can throw anything at me. Anything. Yeah. Because I am constantly intrigued, curious. People completely fascinate me. So anything that you could bring up, I'm here. I'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just like to view myself as a megaphone for you. I mean, that's megaphone. Yeah, I'm handing you the megaphone, and I'm just a megaphone for you to tell your story. That's how I view it.
So I spend so much time telling my story. I'm on 2% charge. You want me to switch over to my phone? I can do that.
It's actually up to you. I mean, we're at an hour and 10 minutes already, to be totally honest with you.
I love talking to you. Hold on, let me
try
this. What do I do? I'm getting
it's the same link.
Technological on you here.
It's the same link.
Hold on. Okay, the same link. All right, I hit the wrong thing. Let me find that link. StreamYard. Here we go. Okay, I'm doing it. Hang on. Redirect. I got that the last time. All right, hit it again. Come on. I'm entering the broadcast studio. I'm there with, oh my God, Derek, I'm on two things at one time. Be still, my heart.
As soon as you're on my end, I'll bring you on.
Okay, hold on. Allow StreamYard. You're entering a broadcast studio. I see me. Okay. You will enter studio as a guest. The host. I love doing this. Let's check your mic. All right. It's all good. All right. But why isn't anything happening? Display name. Ha. I'm going to just enter they want my name. There we go.
Yeah. You don't have to. Yeah.
was so much fun. Oh my God. I pushed my technical boundaries out here with you tonight. There you go. There we go. Oh, there I am. Okay. Cool. Hi.
There you go. I'll kick you off the other one.
Okay.
Kick from studio. There we go.
I never did that before. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, now, see how easy that was? Quite easy.
That was so cool. Wait, did it feel as good for you as it did for me?
It always does.
That is so cool. Oh, look at me up there. Hey, Derek, I'm in the studio. What's happening?
So, what other things you got coming up besides the book?
Oh my God. So, the book, I was doing things from the book, The Working Dogs, the film that's going to be coming out. Pandemic cooking. We are now on location with pandemic cooking because New York and like where you are is opened up. I think you said you're in the 4th phase or something. I think we're going into the 4th phase, but people are now letting me come into their space and cook with them. However, I got those visors, those clear visors, right? You've seen that, right?
Yeah, I have. Yep.
We're using those when we cook together inside, and we're trying to use like social distancing. Maybe it's not 6 feet, maybe it's like 4 feet, but I like cooking with someone. So this is really great. I'm very happy to be in this phase where I can go into somebody's home and cook something with them. Maybe I'll come to your home and cook something with you and your dogs and your wife. That would be fun.
Bring it on.
Are you a good cook?
I'm a very good cook.
You are a very good cook. See, I knew that. Okay, we all know I'm a mediocre cook, but I've been working with people. I worked with a celebrity hairdresser. He did Raquel Welch for a really long time. He was an amazing cook, Richard Lowry. I went into his house and we had the visors on, so he felt comfortable that he wasn't going to get sick or anything. And we made some really cool Italian food. And then 2 weeks ago, I worked with someone who used to be a welder, Simone, and she wanted to do chicken on the barbecue, or as I called it, chicken on the Barbie. And we had a really great time doing that. So part of pandemic cooking now is getting out of my own kitchen and coming into other people's homes, keeping it real, keeping it interesting. And then I'm on a number of variety shows on both YouTube and other platforms, and they call them variety shows because they have comedians on them, they have drag on them, they have spoken word on them, they have improv on them. So I'm meeting a lot of actors, and it's so cool. They're from everywhere. Listen, I was on a podcast 2 weeks ago in the UK. That was so great. Here we are across the pond, as they say there, talking about stuff. And someone, in that part of the world has a different perspective than, say, we would here, which is great. I did a show in Canada, in a province in Canada. And I loved hearing what that host had to say. The neatest thing, if I say one thing about this terrible pandemic for people like us, we can bring in people now from all over the world, How amazing is that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, what was it? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago today, I actually I did an episode where I brought on like 8 other podcasts, and we all did like a giant podcast forum to where we went for like almost 3 hours, and it was just 8 other podcasts. There was 10 people on the show, and we just talked and talked and talked. There were some people from Canada, all over the United States. It was fantastic. So, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. Absolutely.
That is I can't say I've heard of anybody doing that where they brought people from all different broadcasts. So what did you do? Did you do it on StreamYard?
Yep.
Very cool.
Because you can get up to 10 people on StreamYard, including yourself. So 9 extra people you can get on StreamYard.
And they were just like in the studio, and then you brought them all on the same.
Yeah, it was just basically one full screen of nothing but people.
I just totally love that, right?
Yeah, and
the way all in squares on all of these things, I call it Hollywood Squares. It is, right?
Well, I mean, when I do an interview with like one person or 2 people, then I will do the graphics like I'd have right now. But if it's more than 3, I don't do the graphics.
Oh, you don't bother?
No,
Yeah,
it's too much.
Really,
It's just too much because otherwise, the thing about it is they have to come on in a certain order. Depending on when they come on is where they go, and it's just it just takes too much work. So if it's just me plus two other people, I can do it no problem. If it's me plus three other people, that's when it starts to get a little complicated.
Yeah, it does start to get too much. And don't you like time wise have to schedule all your guests too when you do it like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So I do it over the weekend. So like I just got my list of everybody for next week from Eileen yesterday.
Oh,
So tomorrow I'll spend the majority of my day, crafting everything in StreamYard, getting everything scheduled and stuff like that, and then creating calendar invites for everybody and then sending them out and making sure. Then I have to go back in and have to add tags, and it takes such a long time to get shows set up for the week.
That is a lot of work, and that's all for one show, right?
To get ready for one show, it probably takes me 6 to 8 hours for one show.
For one show. And how many shows do you do a week? 5. Wow. No wonder you're in your bunker there for 15 hours a day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do 5 episodes of this show, but I also do another show on Monday afternoons at noon with my former co-host for this show, Kat. We do a mental health hour. And then starting next week as well, I'm going to start doing on Wednesdays. I think it's either with Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I can't remember. I haven't figured it out yet. But I'm going to start doing a game show, a virtual game show as well. So I'm going to go from 5 shows a week to 7.
That's amazing. Wife's not going to see you anymore. She's going to have to bring you dinner down there.
She already does.
She's a really, really good wife. Well, if I want to follow all these shows, what's the best way for me to do it?
The best way to follow me is on my Instagram, which is right there. Just go to @DerekComedy or @SuckItPodcast on Instagram, and then you can find everything. Yeah.
All right, great.
In my link tree, I have everything there. So.
All right. Oh, can I give all my links?
Please go right ahead. I was just about to ask you that.
Right. Links. Okay, now we're up to the link portion of the evening. So my book, She's the Last Model Standing, you can get on Amazon. Then you can go to Facebook and you can check me out on Wendy Stuart on Facebook. I do answer people's comments. I'm also on Facebook under Visual Journeys, our stories that'll take you into the films that we do. I'm on Facebook for She's the Last Model Standing. And then if you hop on over to Instagram, I'm on She's the Last Model Standing. And on Twitter, She's the Last Model Standing, but it's STANG. And we couldn't get the ING in there. It's STANG. Don't even ask me why. I have no idea. My YouTube channel, where you can catch pandemic cooking, is Wendy Stuart TV on YouTube. And last but not least, you can check out my shorter films, interviews I've done on my website, which is www.wendystuarttv.com. And that's all she wrote, folks.
Yeah, and I will have all those links in the description of this video too on YouTube. So,
thank you.
No problem. And I also put them in the description of all the podcasts too. So when it goes out, it'll be there.
Fantastic.
Wendy, right. I cannot say enough about you. You are a phenomenal human being, and I have enjoyed our time together tonight.
That makes me feel so great. I feel the same way about you. I was just looking to see if you still had your ears or did I chew them off?
Nope, they're good. They're still here.
They're still there. Your ears are intact. Derek, thank you so much for having me on. This is real. What a great Friday night I'm having.
Way, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I definitely want to have you back on again.
Okay, that's super. I'll look forward to that. You take care and have a wonderful weekend and be safe.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was a fun time. Fun time. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and run a commercial. Be right back. And then I'm going to go to my crazy bitch of the week. And then I will we're going to see if Trump really is as smart as he says he is. So we'll be right back. Guys, ever wonder how I get this manly beard looking so good? It's all because of Viking Revolution. And at Viking Revolution, not only can you get some great beard balms, but you can also get some great beard oils, as well as some awesome quick shower pads, which helps prevent you stanking up after the gym. Also, these great wet wipes, which help prevent, stanky after going doo-doo. And also some pomades and some other great products, all at Viking Revolution. So do yourself a favor, go to dcproductions.com/sponsors, click on the banner, and get yourself some of these great products. Viking Revolution. Join the revolution. Guys, have you ever wondered how you can help support the channel and also look fucking cool in the process? Go to the link down below, www.dckproductions.com/shop, to get the awesomest merch on the market today. Whether you just want to get one of our plain logos in one of our many different colors, or if you want to get one of our cool graphic tees that just are funny as hell. The choice is yours, but definitely pick up your choice of any one of these shirts in any color, any size, any style that you choose at www.dckproductions.com/shop, or click the link in the bio. Thank you, guys. All right. And yeah, all the links are down there in the description down below. All my favorite products from Viking Revolution and the link to the shop is down there below as well. All right. So, crazy bitch Karen of the week comes courtesy of, I think I got this off of, Instagram, off of @KarensGoneWild. It's just a funny ass page. Definitely go check him out. But here's my crazy bitch of the week.
Some guy in a car, and now he's videotaping me.
Because this is
Because he's
unlawful.
hitting me. Ma'am, he's running me over.
No,
ma'am,
I'm not.
Ma'am, hurry, please hurry. Mike! 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 Yes, please! Hurry, ma'am! Ma'am, I don't know, and he's a lunatic and he's videotaping me! Ma'am, please hurry! Mike! You're in trouble!
How
You're going
so?
to jail!
How so?
You're hurting me!
How?
You just ran over! Ma'am, please hurry! He just ran over and he's still moving! Please, ma'am! Please hurry!
I didn't see the car move once. That's all I gotta say. Oh my God. I didn't see the car move once. If y'all did, please let me know. I don't know how this all started. I don't know where he is, where she is. It looks like they're in front of her house. I don't know what's going on, but the whole idea of her threatening, calling the cops and saying that he hit her or whatever the case might be, and he doesn't do anything, doesn't say anything. That's fucking Karens. And I also had a good Kyle video too, or Chad, or whatever you want to call it. Kyle, Chad, whatever. Those are the best videos ever. Best videos ever is all I got to say about that. All right. So, like I said earlier, we're going to see if Trump is as smart as he says he is. So, now granted, I'm sure you can find this too. It's a very simple website search. Everyone's done it, possibly. It's a version of the cognitive test that he took. Okay. Now, again, it might not be the exact one, but it's very, very similar, and it is quite the test. And let me tell you, it is so difficult. Please hear the sarcasm in my voice when I say that. All right. So let me remove my banner so you can still see my ugly mug. All right, there I am. All right. So we're going to take this test live on the air. Which one of these shapes is a cube? Is it the circle? Is it the square? Is it the triangle? Or is it the cube? Come on, BuzzFeed. It's not working. BuzzFeed doesn't want to work. All right, fine. I'll go to Google. Sorry about that. Let's see here. BuzzFeed. Trump quiz. All right. Hold on. There it is. Got it. All right. We're going to try this again. Come on, BuzzFeed. All right. Share my screen again. All right. All right. So which shape is okay? So this is the cube. Yay, I'm correct. All right. Next, which clock reads 10 past 11? So that says 10 after 11. That says 10 to 12. This one says, nope, this one is it right here. 10 past 11. Boom. Yeah, you got it correct. All right. Which of these puzzles has been solved correctly? So A, 1 to A, 2 to B. So the next answer is 2 to B. So 2 to B, 3 to C, 4 to D, 5 to E. That looks like it's right. Let me just double check here. Yeah, it's this one. Yep. Okay. Let's see here. What kind of animal is this? That, my friends, is a lion. We're going to guess. Yay, I'm correct. It's a lion. What kind of animal is this? That, my friends, is a rhino. What kind of animal is this? That is a camel. Let's see here. What else we got going on? All right, hold on. How many times does the letter A appear in this list? All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Answer is 11. Yes. Yay, I can count. Which of these correctly writes 21854 backwards? So it'd be 45812. 45812. Boom, right there. Correct. Which of these groups of numbers correctly subtracts 100 by sevens? So 93, 86, 79, 72, 67. That's not it. 65 right here. Oh, I got it wrong. I get the wrong one. Damn it. What was it different? Oh, I see what I did. I hit the wrong one. Okay. Damn it. 85. Oh, I jumped ahead of myself. That's why. What is the similarity between a banana and an orange? They are both types of fruit. Yay. What is the similarity between a train and a bicycle? They are both modes of transportation. Yay. It's my birthday. What is the similarity between a watch and a ruler? No, they don't both tell time. They're not the same length. They're both a means of measurement. Yes. What year are we in right now? Wow, 2020. Okay, so I got a 12 out of 13, and the other one was I fucked that up. But okay, so that is the test that he was bragging about. And if I wasn't on the air and I was paying attention, I probably would have gotten that other question right. But so that is the test that he's bragging about, or a test similar. No comment saying that's not the same test. It is a similar test. Okay. But yeah. So that, my friends, is what the country is being run on, is based off of the fact that Donald Trump knows what a fuck a camel is. So that's fun. How does everybody feel about that shit now? All right. So now that we've gotten that out of the way. All right. So a couple things. Number one, tomorrow night, 8:00 East, 5:00 West, same time as normal. I will be live again, but this time it will be live at Siblings Rivalry Brewery in Winchester, Virginia, for the Laugh or Suck It comedy show. Me and two other comedians all three of us will be going on at 8:00, one after the other. I'm headlining, so about 8:30ish, or 5:30ish, depending on where you're at. Then on Monday, we've got on noon, we've got the mental health hour with Kat. Monday, we're going to be discussing our toxic traits that we know are toxic, that we give off to our partners, to our friends, to our family, whatever the case might be, our toxic traits. So if you want to come and join that conversation and talk about your toxic traits, please feel free. Then Monday night, I have got a new rapper to the scene that just released a new single with Grandmaster Mel of Grandmaster Flash, his group. Guy's name is Jason Chaos. And so that'll be a fun. This guy has figured out a way to mix goth rock and metal. I mean, goth rock and Old Man Pill Times. Goth rock and rap. So it's a very interesting collaboration of music, and I've listened to a lot of it, and it's actually pretty cool. So I'll have him on Monday, and then Tuesday starts this summer concert series. Yeah, I've had 3 bands on in the last week and a half to perform, for you guys, but the real, the actual concert type style kicks off on Tuesday with country music artist Kimberly Dawn. So that'll be fun. She'll be coming on about 9 East, 6 West. And then that'll be the rest of the week. Then Wednesday is Kings of the Wild Things. And then Thursday is a band called Impulses. So that is next week and a bunch more. And I'll release all the flyers and the calendars this weekend. So that'll be awesome, awesome, awesome. But again, be sure to come back tomorrow night. Again at 8 East, 5 West for the Laugh or Suck It comedy night at Siblings Rivalry Brewery in Winchester. So you can definitely check us out there. We're going to bring the funny, and I know you guys need the funny. So hell, within the next week, we're not only bringing the funny tomorrow night, but I'm also bringing you 3 fucking live concerts. Who better than Derek? I don't give a fuck what anybody else says. We bring the best fucking content on fucking YouTube. Nobody else is bringing you comedy events and live fucking music on a fucking weekly basis. That's all I got to fucking say about that. Tell your friends, tell your family. Make sure you fucking hit that subscribe and the like and share button. Please make sure that you do so to come back and, make sure you know every time that we are fucking here. Make sure you click that bell. And for those of you that are listening on the podcast, make sure you subscribe as well to whatever podcast platform you are listening on. Again, guys, I appreciate you guys so much. We will be back next week with Kimberly Dawn, Kings of the Wild Things, and Impulses. that is our lineup for next week. Plus, look at all these other fantastic fucking bands we've got coming for you. We've got rap artist Jay Sun, Flying Jacob out of Maryland, Once Revealed out of West Virginia. We've got Unchained, Words for Hands, all these great unsigned bands that you've never heard of before that you will be able to know about thanks to this show. And guys, have a wonderful fucking weekend. I hope to hear from you guys tomorrow night live from Siblings Rivalry Brewery in Winchester, where I'll be bringing the funny and hopefully you'll be laughing right along with me. But until then, or until Monday, you guys have a great fucking weekend. I love you. Good night. Where's my outro? Oh, there's my outro. Peace.